Alright, so I just saw the trailer for a new horror movie called The Woman in the Yard from the same studio that gave us Megan and the Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually haven't watched either of those yet, but I've heard Megan is solid, so maybe I'll check it out before diving into this one. But if you don't know, The Woman in the Yard is a psychological horror about a mysterious woman in black who shows up on a family's front lawn delivering a chilling warning. Nobody knows who she is, why she's there, or when she's leaving, but the family's definitely about to find the frack out. Off this initial trailer, I'm pretty excited. The trailer kicks off with this little girl's eerie voiceover
when the sun is bright,
as the camera rushes through a wheat field, almost like something's hunting for its prey, like some kind of bloodhound. That alone gave me chills. The lack of music, the still empty haunting atmosphere really lets the tension build. Then we see this big, beautiful house, and that's when the sound design starts to kick in.
she comes to you.
I love how the trailer feels more like a teaser, with this one just giving us enough to pique curiosity without spoiling the whole friggin' plot. Full trailers these days tend to give away way too much, so this approach is refreshing. I really hope they just keep it like this. Like, learn, editors, please. Now, let's get into the visual feast. So far, you've got these quiet, unsettling shots of the family staring at something clearly disturbed. And then there she is, the woman in the yard. At first, I thought she'd disappear, maybe reappear for a cheap jump scare, but nope, she stays right there just staring. What's even weirder is that it's not at night, it's like sunset, which somehow makes it even more unnerving, like the sun hasn't set yet. It's like she forgot how the ghost is supposed to come out at night. There's this shot where the camera slowly pans down the window, revealing her fully. She's wearing a black wedding dress, which immediately makes me wonder, was she a bride? Did something tragic happen? I mean, definitely something tragic happened, but what exactly? And is there revenge story coming out of this? Or was she the bad guy all along? Anyways, and then there's this moment where Danielle's character, one of the lead actors, decides to approach her. Honestly, terrible idea. Like, if someone's creepy just appears on my lawn, I'm not walking up to them. I'm grabbing a rock and probably calling for help. Now, you can't call for help in this seclusion, but at least chuck a rock. The trailer also teases some underground tunnels, which make me think there might be some buried secrets there, maybe some literal buried secrets, and the bloody hands we see, which is enough to tell me that there's no way she's squeaky clean in this. Probably not a victim, but we'll see. Either way, super creepy. Could she be a murderous bride? Are there bodies in the yard? So many questions. Now, taking a look at the little girl for a second, I've said this before in previous horror videos, but it's really good to have these vulnerable characters. You need them for people to identify with quickly, especially in the horror movie genre where you need to build up enough rapport to feel something for these characters. And with children, the disabled, the elderly, we already have that initial sense of how weak they are, or rather how vulnerable they are. Now, it's not always needed, but it's definitely something you can throw in there that can definitely give you some sympathy points for your characters. It's one of my problems actually with the movie His House. It wasn't terrible. It's actually a pretty good movie, but because I'm watching two able-bodied grown adults, even with the unfortunate circumstance they were in, I didn't find myself that invested in those characters in such a short amount of time.
Today's the day.
The rent is due. I'm kidding. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of her voice here. I kind of wish they had played with it a little bit more, creepified it, if that can be used as a word. I don't find that moment that scary. And seeing how this takes place at the end of the trailer, and everything before this was basically building to this moment, it wasn't that creepy. I'm also a little worried about the sun. It is cool that they're bringing the ghosts out at a different time rather than the usual nighttime, midnight, 3 a.m. kind of thing. And the girl does say at the start that
when the sun is bright and the wind is still.
But hopefully they don't keep it too much in the sun, Because otherwise, I fear I won't be able to be freaked out as I normally would, as I find the darkness in horror films is also playing like a character. It's like an extra layer to the fear, and I'd hate to see them remove that simply to do something new, but it not really land, like takes away the creepiness from the person or the ghost. So we've got another couple shots and angles that I want to take a look at, with the woman in the yard, in the chair, wearing what looks like, I said before, a black wedding dress to me. So I'm wondering if she's going to be the wife of the owner of the house, but I'm thinking unlikely. Like, it's more like, because this house itself is big and fancy, and not knowing the exact time period of this, it looks pretty modern, but I wonder if it's more like previous slave abuse situation, maybe her wanting to get married to the owner but was never able to or whatnot. You know, even the tunnel in the trailer does leave me to kind of believe that there is going to be multiple dead bodies hidden underground somewhere. But too little to tell, which is how we do want our trailers to be. Honestly, let me guess, let me build the possibilities of what it could be so I can enjoy myself when I finally get to see what it is. The cast looks pretty strong. I'm hoping this one delivers, because I'm always down for a good psychological horror, or really anything horror, as long as it's good. But that's it for now. We'll have to wait for more. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, what do you think of this trailer?